Hello, and welcome to my talk for this week. Today I've been thinking a great deal about Archbishop Lynn McNaughton. She's the Bishop of Kootenay and the Metropolitan of British Columbia and the Yukon. Over the past 6 months, that region has been hit by a tidal wave of catastrophic events. There were the remains of First Nation children discovered in Kootenay. Then we had the huge forest fires across the region, including the destruction of the town of Lytton and surrounding communities. And now there are terrible floods across numerous communities. Lynn and the folks who live in that part of our country have been in my prayers for several months, and now they feature again. We should remember the families of all who've been affected by these events and those who are bringing relief and help, often at great personal risk to themselves. One of the things we have heard is that as a result of the flooding, supply chains to the local communities in BC and to the rest of Canada are likely to be interrupted. Vancouver is our largest port, and rail and road links have either been badly affected or cut. Once again, this situation reminds us of the complexity and connectedness of our modern world. The pandemic has shown us this on a massive scale, and the weather events have brought it home locally. The idea of everyone being connected is very biblical. God's plan for us was that humanity would be united under Him and that we would all be in fellowship together throughout and with creation. There are many ways in which this is shown in the Bible, but perhaps one of the most striking examples is God's intention for the Jews after they left Egypt and arrived in the Promised Land. You may remember that there was to be no king. The people were to live under the kingship of God. They were to be a prototype for the whole of creation, showing God's original purpose of justice, peace, and love. As we know, things didn't work out that way. The people of Israel wanted to be like those around them. They desired a king, and despite the warnings they received about how a monarch would enslave them, they won their demands, and they found out the truth of this in the reign of Solomon. We, the Church of God, are called to be an example of what God's kingdom looks like. The kingdom is much bigger than us, but we are part of it. In this connected world, how should we behave to be agents of peace, justice, and love amongst the brokenness which often surrounds us? On the news, they say that disasters bring out the best in Canadians. We help our neighbours, providing shelter, food, and other necessities of life. This is a good thing, and shows us something of the image of God in all of us. But the church is always to model that attitude and aspect of God. Once again, thank you for being here. God bless, and stay safe.